Bonjour, bienvenue sur CME. On continue avec la correction de l'épreuve d'anglais, session de 2020, niveau BAC pour les séries littéraires au Cameroun. Section 1, grammar. Use the word in the brackets to join the pair of sentences into one meaningful sentence. Number 1, he's the man. Thieves stole his car. Alors, je ne vais pas tout écrire. Donc, ici, on dit he's the man whose car was stolen. Donc ici, on continue à partir d'ici. On élimine la ponctuation et on dit whose car was stolen. Okay? 2. Joe was punished. He insulted his teacher. The same thing. Joe was punished for insulting his teacher. Okay. Number 3, the telephone rang, I had dinner. En fait, ici, on a plusieurs options. L'option la plus proche de moi, c'est the phone rang while I was having dinner. The phone rang while I was having dinner. The other possibility is the phone was ringing while I was having dinner. Okay, that also will go. Okay, 4. This is the village. A volcano erupted in this village. And we have where, of course. So this is the village where a volcano erupted. This is the village where a volcano erupted from. Okay, 5. Farmers worked for a long time. Farmers had a rest. And then we have after. Encore, ici, on a véritablement beaucoup de possibilités. Je vais juste donner la plus simple, à mon avis. Donc, after farmers had worked for a long time, comma, they had a rest. Okay? Another possibility, after they had worked for a long time, farmers had a rest. Okay? Let's move to the second part. Right. Rewrite each sentence following the instructions in brackets. The indomitable lions defeated Egypt. Oh, there's a problem here. There's a P missing. Whatever. Question tag. So, positive sentence, it becomes negative and plural. So the answer is defeated. Didn't they? Number 2. Don't be silly, said my mother in direct speech. Well then, my mother said I shouldn't be silly. Yeah, okay. My mother said that I shouldn't be silly. 3. His uncle visited him last week. Ask a question. Did his uncle visit him last week? Careful with the tense. Did his uncle visit? Okay, not visited, but visit him last week. Okay, I'll let you finish this. 4. At 7 o'clock tonight, my homework. 7 o'clock, and you have to use do. A couple of things I'm thinking. At 7 o'clock tonight, I'm doing my homework. So I'm doing my homework at 7 o'clock tonight. The second possibility, at 7 o'clock tonight, I'm going to do my homework. Okay, I'm going to do my homework. And lastly, I will be doing my homework. So it all depends on what they mean exactly by using do. Does that mean you're going to have to use do the way it is? In that case, you would say, rather than I'm doing, is I'm going to do. I'm going to do. If this is exactly what they want, and I guess it is what they want. Okay, so you might have to drop this. Number 5, the more you exercise, the better you feel, of course. The healthier you feel, the stronger you feel. So you pick one. Let's move on to the next section. Still vocabulary, yeah? Okay. Give a word that is similar in meaning to the underlined word. 1. My adversaries almost killed me. Adversaries. My enemies. Why not? My enemies. My foes. Yeah, my opponents. Okay? 2. Her uncle is a very wealthy man. Her rich man. Wealthy, generally we think rich, we think well off. Her uncle is well off. Okay, number 3. The girl is so naive that she believes what everybody says. Naive, innocent, immature, simple-minded. Yes, I like simple-minded better than immature. Simple-minded. Okay, 4. I dislike talkative persons. I can't stand talkative person. I hate talkative person. I detest talkative persons. 5. The harvest is plenty this year. Is abundant. The harvest is abundant this year. Okay? Yeah, so let's move on. Fill in the blank in each sentence using the correct form of the word in brackets. Punctuate where necessary. Ekane is the happy of this year's Mount Cameroun Race of Hope. So that would be winner. Yes. The happy winner. Number 2. The pilot did the 6-hour journey without a problem and landed safely. Without a problem, safely. C. Many girls abandon school because of unwanted pregnancy. Unwanted pregnancy. D. Television is my favorite pastime. So, of course, watching television. Watching television is my favorite pastime. Okay, so watching television is my favorite pastime. E. If you, of course, divide. If you divide 15 by 3, you obtain 5. Let's move on. Right. Use a word of your own to complete each sentence so that it makes sense. All right. 1. Ekuma has always failed in his life. He has never known, always failed, so never known success. I do not have money anymore. I have some money from my friend. He always lends me some money whenever I do not have any, so I have to borrow. I have to borrow some money. Number 3, I've forgotten all of my friends' telephone numbers. I have to look for them in the telephone directory or directory. 4, if you want to make a phone call, you should first of all dial a number. Is that the only answer? No, you could also say you should look for the number, have the number, and this kind of thing. Number 5, my father earns a very low salary. That is why he often goes to the bank to get a loan to pay our school fees. Okay, so salary, school fees, bank, loan, phone call, dial. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so if you have any questions related to everything we've done so far, let me know in the comment below, and subscribe if you love the video, and if it's useful, share with your friends. All right, let's move to reading. Okay, so global warming. Before reading, I generally go to look at the questions to have a better idea of what is the reading about. So they say, according to your understanding, what is global warming? I like this. Number 2, why do we blame global warming on mankind? Okay. So there's the idea of blaming and mankind. Number 3, explain the meaning of greenhouse effect. Interesting. Name the 4 gases that contribute to greenhouse. And finally, what do you think could be done to control or prevent global warming? Okay, I mean, these are very good questions. Let's go back to the text and, inform ourselves as to how to answer. Okay? Global warming has been described as the greatest threat facing humanity. Well, that's a big word. Greatest threat facing humanity. What worries researchers, says the journal Science, is the prospect that we've started a slow-moving but relentless avalanche of change. Skeptics question this assertion. True, many agree that the Earth is warming, but they are uncertain of both the causes and consequences. Human activities may be a factor, they say, but not necessarily the primary one. Why the disagreement? For one thing, the physical processes that underlie global climate systems are complex and not fully understood. That's a very interesting statement. According to a report of the UN-sponsored Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, global warming is unequivocal, or a fact, and very likely mankind is largely to blame. Okay, why? That's a question that was asked. Let's see if we have the answer. Some who differ with the conclusion in regard to the human factor concede that cities may be heating because of the growing in size. Okay, next. It is believed that climate change is a sequence of the greenhouse effect. They also ask us what it was, so we'll figure it out. Natural phenomenon vital for life on Earth. Okay? When energy from the sun reaches the Earth, about 70% of it is absorbed in heating the air, land, and sea. The absorbed heat is released back into space as infrared radiation, thus preventing the Earth from overheating. But when pollutants change the composition of the atmosphere, less heat escapes. This can cause the Earth's temperature to rise. Gases that contribute to the greenhouse effect include carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane, as well as water vapor. The atmospheric concentration of greenhouse gases has increased remarkably over the past 250 years, since the start of the Industrial Revolution and the increased use of fossil fuels such as coal and oil. Another greenhouse enhancing factor seems to be the rising population of farm animals, whose digestive processes produce methane and nitrous oxide. Okay, understood. Let's go to the question then. So, what, according to your understanding, is global warming? My understanding is global warming is the warming up of the Earth. Okay, so warming up of the Earth. Okay, I like to write it capital. Is that the only way? Well, you can say the rise in the world temperature. That's also a valid answer. Rise in the world temperature. Number two, why do we blame global warming on mankind? Now, that wasn't clearly specified in the text, but one idea was urbanization. I saw urbanization was mentioned in the text. Okay. What other reason? Well, I hear on TV, but it wasn't in the text. Oh, no, sorry. There is another reason that was pointed out in the text. That was pollution. Okay. But generally on TV and everywhere else, you will hear of deforestation. Okay, so you can add that, deforestation. You can add that as another reason. Okay, next, explain the meaning of greenhouse effect. Okay, I don't remember actually reading a detailed explanation in the text, but the idea is certain gases are able to absorb energy coming from the sun and then release them. Okay? So, yeah. But in this context, I could say that the absorption and release, absorption. Okay, let me go back to the text, not to, you know, come up with words. They say here, so energy from the sun reaches the earth. So that's for question 3. So around here for the definition, 70% is absorbed. Yes. And release back. Yes. Okay. So release in form of infrared radiation. Yes. Okay. From overheating. I know. They said thus preventing the earth from overheating. Yes, that's correct. So, okay, I can just copy this section if I don't know how to reformulate it. Just this section, you copy it, and then you have your answer for number 3. But if you wanted to be more specific, you could say the absorption of solar energy by certain gases. That energy is later released as infrared. Yes, infrared. Okay, so either you copy the text or you formulate like this. Greenhouse effect, yes. Okay, number 4. They ask us to name the 4 gases that contribute to the greenhouse effect. Okay, I think I still remember very well. We mentioned carbon dioxide. Yeah. Okay. What's going on with this thing? Okay, so carbon dioxide, yeah, that's an X. Methane, nitrous, I think, yeah, it was something like nitrous oxide, and water vapor. Yes, water vapor. Well, if you're not sure, please go back to the text. Okay, it's there. So what do you think could be done to control or prevent global warming? We could reduce pollution or pollutants. Yeah. Uh-oh, I have a problem with my pen. Just a second. Reduce pollution. Reduce the cutting down of trees. That will be deforestation. We could increase planting trees. That will be increase afforestation, planting down of trees, and also consumption, you know, consuming just what we need rather than consuming. So reduce overconsumption, reduce overconsumption or overproduction, because we throw a lot of trash that contribute to pollution and then global warming. Okay, let's move to the next section. Okay, section 4, composition writing. As usual, if you want me to do videos dedicated to composition, let me know by commenting the topic. Be very specific. Whatever topic you want me to write about, I'm available. So let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, please subscribe. And of course, you have to support us. If you like this video, share them. If you like them, make sure